Bulldog's in the house. Kevin's in the house. Susan Anton, who's currently starring in the fabulous Palm Springs Follies. And you're so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so much fun. And you're so talented. So let's talk about growing up in Ukaipa.
Okay.
And then how did you get into show business? Because you and Carrie Brijan have something in common.
Not really.
Well, that's good to hear. But you have a title in common.
We do have a title in common, So yeah, how did I get into show business?
Yeah, show biz.
Well, I was raised, up in Oak Glen, actually. But yeah, above.
Now, what's that story you tell about riding a horse to school? What were you on, Little House on the Prairie?
Well, it seems like it. No, I was raised on my grandfather's apple ranch, C.J. Blackie Wilshire.
Was there a lot of money there? That's what I said to Kevin when you tell the story.
Sadly, there's a lot of land. There should have been a lot of money, but no, just a lot of hardworking people. And anyway, I was raised up in the mountains, and I went to a one-room schoolhouse.
Really?
And I rode my horse to school, and it's the last time I was head of my class. There were 2 of us in the 3rd grade, and I was the top student. So that doesn't say a lot. It says a lot, right? Mikey McFarland and me. I had such a crush on Mikey McFarland. Oh my God, he had a little lunch pail with a space.
Oh, thank God, the lunch pail was little.
Big thermos, though. How he got it in that little lunch pail, I don't know.
We don't know.
But it was amazing. But anyway, I actually got into show business on a dare from my high school boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah, I was very shy. I'm very tall. For any of your listeners who don't know, I'm 5'11", and so I put on my high heels.
Flat, without shoes.
Without
right?
heels. And so he dared me to enter a local beauty pageant, and because he thought it would be good for my self-esteem, make me less shy. And it
I can imagine, right?
But I ended up winning, and I didn't know that it was a preliminary to the Miss America pageant, Miss California, Miss America. So then I became Miss California, and then I went to the Miss America pageant, and
you almost won.
I did. I almost won. I got into the top 5, and Bert Parks asked me the all-important question.
What was it?
Well, I was expecting something really important, like how do you solve world hunger or something, and he said, Miss California, when do you feel is the proper time to marry? And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. I'm 17 years old, so I said, when you're pregnant.
Is that what you said? No, I hope. Did you?
Yes.
Wow.
And I just, kissed that crown goodbye.
Yeah.
Yes, the ballerina from Michigan won that year.
Do you remember who won? What was her name? Do you remember?
Pamela Eldred. Oh, okay. Of course I remember.
Because Marianne Mobley, I thought, was she?
She was from Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah,
she won.
She did.
Yeah.
She won a few years prior to me.
And she stuck with that drunk, Gary Collins.
Oh, no.
No, he just drives into poles once in a while. I can't
wait, tell us the truth. In backstage, there are lots of cat fights between all the girls. Come on, for sure. There has
you know
to
what?
be.
Not when I was in. I actually know.
Really?
I mean, this whole. I think that's kind of getting birthed through this whole sensational form of television that we have now,
right. Yes.
and the people can see that they can get a certain sense of notoriety by being sensational. But back in my day, it sounds like I'm really an old person here. You really wanted to have good manners.
Right? No,
it was like a good thing.
So you're a girl from Ukaipa, and suddenly you're swept up in this. Was it like overwhelming? I mean, you're at Atlantic City with Bert Parks. Ready to say, there she is.
Well, it was pretty exciting, because I had never been on a plane or anything,
Whoa.
And so it was a big deal to go back to Atlantic City. And I'll tell you what was interesting, though. It was 1969, and so here it is, my big moment to. It's kind of like a Taylor Swift, Kanye West moment, because it was my moment, to go to the Miss America pageant. I watched it my whole life. I'm so excited, and we're going to have the parade, and we had to cancel it because Women's Liberation was picketing the pageant that year.
Burn your bras.
Burn your bras.
Don't wear bathing suits.
Don't do beauty pageants. Shame on you. So they had to, the pageant got sequestered and we got put away. And I thought, wait a minute, what my moment?
Right.
So go sit down, Kanye.
Mind your own beeswax.
Exactly.
Is what they said back then.
Exactly. But I after I was Miss California for the year, I thought, well, the doors of Hollywood would just swing wide open, but it wasn't the case.
Really?
It took a while. It took a while. So I went back to Pasadena and I cleaned offices at night.
Really?
Yes,
but
I
you
did.
wanted to be a singer, actress.
But I wanted to be a singer, so I just bit by bit kind of found my way, started working on it, found a guy that had a little tiny record studio, and he would write my charts, and I would just kind of slowly learn to the craft, and then started doing a little job here, a little job there, and then finally I broke through in commercials after about 7-8 years, and I got the Muriel cigar
Muriel
commercial.
cigars, we were talking. I started smoking cigars at a young age. Well, it was so much better than Edie Adams saying, Muriel. I mean, I didn't want to look like
smoke it sometimes.
Right, I'd rather smoke you than Edie Adams.
There you go.
Most people thought that.
Well, you know what was interesting? It was back in the day because they're doing this whole thing on ESPN right now about Jimmy the Greek and the CBS NFL. live, which was the beginning of before ESPN and all of that. And so Muriel Cigars was one of the sponsors. They would bring that halftime, that pre-show to the network. And so this one commercial we shot was I would be in a locker room of a tennis, and this guy was in his tennis uniform outfit.
Yeah. Shorts. Shocking at the time.
And I was in a Bob Mackie pink gown, and he had his cigar.
I love this woman.
I know he had his cigar. Like he comes from a tennis match and lights up a cigar. Who doesn't? And so he's getting ready to light up his cigar, and I would magically appear in the locker room, and I twirled around, and I lit his cigar, and I sat on his lap, and I sang this song. Well, CBS said this commercial is too provocative to show on Sunday morning, and we got yanked because we were too provocative because I sat on his lap.
Is that amazing?
Isn't that something?
Wow.
What happened? So Muriel Cigars really opened the career for you,
it
right?
Did.
People saw you could sing and act.
Well, and I tell you, the person that really discovered me, because being out here in Palm Springs, and he's no longer with us, may he rest in peace indeed, was Merv Griffin. Oh. Merv was my angel. Merv, I went on his show, I did his show, and he was like, my God, this girl is amazing. He had me on, I cannot tell you how many times. And from there, Fred Silverman, who was then president of ABC, he signed me to ABC, and then he went to NBC, and so I did a show on ABC that the Osmonds actually produced. And then I read
about that. Yeah, it didn't last long. The Osmonds.
No, we were opposite Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days in that juggernaut. Mel Tillis.
Which it's a strange. Well,
it was kind of a spin on Donnie Marie would used to do. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. So it was that country star and kind of like me, the rock star, real rock star. But
what was that like to have to go from Muriel Cigar to have a show on network television?
It was amazing because then I went to NBC and I had presenting Susan Anton,
which was great.
Which were 4
My father never let me talk during that show.
Oh, your father was a wise
Lou
man.
Feingold, rest in peace. He loved Susan Anton.
Well, I got to work with Johnny Mathis, and
he's coming back on the show.
I love John. Give him my love.
I will. Yeah.
I will never forget that moment because here it is. It's my show presenting Susan Anton. We were doing it on the stage that Sonny and Cher did their show. And I have my little platform. I walk out, do my monologue, and then we would go into the duet that I was doing with Johnny Mathis.
Wow.
And it was just too much, too little, too late. Someday we'll walk hand in hand. I'm singing one song after another with Johnny Mathis. I'm going like, life is amazing.
Yeah.
Life is just amazing. And I was like 26 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. I had to pinch myself. Even now thinking about it, let me pinch myself now.
But Merv Griffin was a big help.
Merv was my angel. Merv was the guy that set the wheels in motion and really gave me that platform, So from there, everything just really did open
He was
up.
a great man, Merv Griffin.
I loved Merv. Yeah, forever and always.
Remember his dying words? We always say it on this show. He looked up at me and said, Bill, if only you and Kevin were a few years younger and I was going to live, I'd make you stars. And I said, don't die, Merv. If you want to see something great happen, go see Susan Anton in the Palm Springs Follies. You're there till New Year's Eve?
Yes, I am.
Through New Year's Eve. The phone number at the Follies is 760-327-0225 or go to palmspringsfollies.com. And I guarantee you will fall in love with Susan Anton and the whole show, but you are fabulous in that show.
Thank you.
And thank you. We do the show again before you leave.
Okay.
And Kevin will make up next time.
Thank God.
No, he had a rough day today. He had to actually do some production work. You have a CD with Christmas music we're going out on. It's the Bulldog, 94.3 FM. We'll be right back.
He is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. Oh, you can do the job when you're in town. The weather outside is frightful. The fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go.
KNWZ FM 94.3, KNWQ Palm Springs, KNWZ Coachella, KNWH Yucca Valley, the Desert's News Talk Superstation.